Ayan, kamusta na kayo dyan, guys? Ito. I just got I just got to get is off my chest. I mean, hi, kakatapos ko lang yung Maid in Malacanang movie and all. So I just want to give some initial reaction and then bukas i-breakdown natin ng mabuti yan. So I just felt I have to really get this out of my system now para ma-process natin. Medyo overwhelming yung movie na yan, no? For so many reasons, and I'll explain to you guys more in detail bukas, no? And because I feel it's a very politically relevant movie. I have comments on the artistic side. I have the comments on the challenge for the other side, etc. Pero ito yung sasabihin ko dito, ah. Unang-una, mukhang ito talaga hindi dapat Made in Malacanang. Mukhang I Me in Malacanang talaga dapat yung title. Mukhang it's really the I Me perspective, no? At kung nakita niyo yung movie na yan, may malalaman niyo kung silong bida, no? And it gives a very different understanding of the final moments, final hours, and final days of the Marcos regime, no? The other thing that I found quite, I would say, interesting, to put in quotation mark, is halos zero ang explanation bakit nangyari ang people power, right? Yung 1986 revolution. Parang ang palabas lang dito is dahil ayaw sa kanila, dahil sabi nga nung character ni Cesar Montano, probinsyano lang sila kaya ayaw sa kanila kasi elitista daw yung kabila. I mean, that was just incredible to reduce the whole thing to just that and then dismissing everyone as just a bunch of traidor at saka mga snake, etc. Then may mga surprises, spoiler alert, may Robin Hood dyan. Sa movie na yan, out of nowhere, there's gonna be Robin Hood. Abangan yan. I didn't see that coming. And then maraming pagmumuray ng Ilocano ang maririnig nyo dyan. Although I am a little bit suspicious kung Ilocano yung ginamit nilang isang character na Ilocano. Because to be honest, she sounded more from another ethnic group than Ilocano. Ayoko na sabihin saan. So, I don't know. There were parts na parang, Ilocano ba yan? Hindi gano'n na accent na Ilocano pag nagtagalog. Anyway, and then, the other thing is, really guys, huwag kayong umalis kagad. I was thinking of leaving a bit earlier para humabol sa ibang engagement. But please watch the movie until the very end if you bother to watch it, alright? Ako kasi I have to watch it because interviewin ko si Ambeth Ocampo. I'm gonna interview a number of people. So, hindi naman pwede na kausapin ko sila kasi hindi ko pa napanood. No? So, I have to do this as part of my job. No? So, huwag kayo umalis. Panoorin niyo hanggang last second. Kasi kung umalis kayo, you'll miss a point. Including the fact that dun sa pinakadulo, malalaman natin sinong supposedly eyewitnesses na ginamit. Of course, yung mga tatlong kasambahay nandyan sa Malacanang. Alright? Now, the thing is, malalaman nyo rin ano yung portrayal dun sa kabila, which I think has enraged a lot of people. Essentially, reducing the people power to just a bunch of crazy, angry mobsters. Na-dehumanize pa yung mga protesters. They were just shown as a bunch of bitter, angry mob. And that was like, wow. I mean, like, whew. The temerity to do that and to reduce that, no? Not to mention yung isang scene about Cory Aquino and even the nuns, right? May buhay pa yung iba dyan, and they have made comments. So that was like, wow, that was really pushing the envelope. So, I mean, alam mo, up to a point dun sa movie, parang sabi ko, okay, fine, ito yung perspective nyo, fine, you gave your version of reality, no? Pero sa dulo talagang the dulo was very provocative. In fact, it was very insulting to anyone who knows about what happened there. So parang wow, that ibang klase 'yon. Tapos may pagmumura pa Ilocano na big time doon sa dulo. Parang okay, is this a Tatay Digong Ilocano version? Kasi may parts na ganun. In fact, the way Cesar Montano was talking towards the latter part of the movie, it's like Tatay Digong talking. Just change Ilocano for Davaoenyo, right? I'll just be brutally honest about that. I mean, like, kaya nga, there was a part na yung gitna ng movie na I was like, okay, pwede na yan, fine, and I'm gonna move out of it and do our nas. Pero yung dulong part na, guys, I would say the last 25 minutes, suddenly it goes into a overdrive mode, no? So yon, no? So for me, it's just, wow, zero explanation. bakit nangyari yung people power. Like, you go there, you watch it, you come out, it looks like biktima lang mga Marcoses na mga pagtatraidor ng kanilang mga kaibigan at saka mga kunyaring ahas daw na tame nila. The other thing that surprised me is napaka-underdeveloped yung character ni Imelda. I don't know if it's a Rufa thing or not. Parang, I know it was kind of a joke na there are parts na ang drama ni Bongbong Marcos at saka mami and then biglang pupunta yung sa sapatos or something. But I don't know, I just felt the character could have been further developed considering how important Imelda Marcos was to Philippine politics and the regime during that time, no? And then, of course, for me, most politically relevant, and we'll discuss that tomorrow, is the scene between Bongbong Marcos and the father. In fairness, many parts about Bongbong Marcos seem to be actually historically quite accurate and backed up by a lot of historical studies. Now, kausapin po natin si Ambeth Ocampo, God willing soon, mga historians and all, to go down to the historicity and accuracy of a lot of claims that were raised. But yun lang guys, if you've bothered to watch that movie, watch it until the last minute, because it's really in the last 10-15 minutes whereby the real ideology comes out. That this is not just any movie, this is not just art. It's essentially a declaration of war on the whole narrative that has undergirded the post-Marcos regime. This is really next level, guys. I mean, if you really pay attention, it's really something. Yeah, wait lang. I was not ready for that. And then my Robin Hood bigla. Parang, wait lang, di ba? So yan. Anyway, tomorrow I will have a more breakdown of this. I just felt, since kanina nagbigay tayo ng, aside from my Taekwondo kicks video pala, hindi, yung breakdown natin ng katips, di ba? Yung I used the Dostoevsky's auteur kind of way of analyzing transition. I'm just saying, if yung kabila, they wanna fight for history and all, you have to be prepared because this movie had a lot of glamour elements there and all, which actually doesn't turn off a median I mean, if you're not invested in the anti-Marcos narrative, the whole Louis Vuitton and Gucci's and all you see on the Aimee character is actually gonna make her look cool actually, right? Although interesting, may part na may footages na ginamit at sinabi, ito yung nakaw sa bayan. Actually, English yung ginamit. These were stolen from the Filipino people or something like that, no? And it's interesting na gumamit sila ng marami footages and all. So clearly, there's a claim to historical accuracy here. Almost semi-documentary narco style ang ginawa dito. Yeah, it's almost narco style, no? So parang, and then tas ang pangtapat mo sa katips is theatrical. Zero reference directly to Ferdinand Marcos. In fact, the name Ferdinand Marcos barely comes out. Almost zero reference to Imelda Marcos. Almost zero usage of documentary. Any claim to historical, big picture reference. I don't know. I mean, okay. So anyway, bukas, balikan ko kayo guys. Yun lang. Ang advice ko lang sa inyo, if you bother to go and watch it until the last moment. Because in my opinion, it's really the final quarter, yung Q4 ng movie, that's where the ideology comes out. Because the first half and so, it's really just the emotional part from their point of view. And actually, for me, that's interesting. But I was saying, okay, so this is how, of course, sanitize and all. But nonetheless, you could imagine those were really stressful hours and moments. And yung part na si Aimee biglang nag-panic mode, and then hinanap niya yung tatay niya, umakyat siya, and then like nagwawala. The tension was really strong. I mean, like, that was a good build-up. I mean, due credit, I think it was well done, that part na yung build-up ng tension. So I think the build-up was good. Again, I'm talking about artistic. I'm not talking about the historical accuracy. We'll talk. But the build-up was strong. There's a part na sobrang tense. Like, really tense. Yung siege mentality, we're besieged, ano mangyari sa atin. And then yung switch kaagad sa comedy. So, dyan papasok yung mga kasambahay sa Malacanang. I don't know, smooth yung ginawa nila. But the last 15 minutes, guys, that's exactly where the ideology comes from. It's actually, it's a declaration of war, essentially, on the post-Marcos regime narrative. And the way they portrayed Cory and all of that, I don't know. They're essentially asking for a reply. So, yung mga galit dyan sa Maid in Malacanang and all, I'll be honest, I don't think Katips directly actually rebuts it. I just don't think, I think Katips is a good movie in terms of showing the story, the human side of progressive Filipinos. Although sabi ko kulang kapos din yung movie na yan in terms of explaining bakit sila naging activista to begin with, no? But you really, if you wanna, if you're really critical of Made in Malacanang, if you have issues with it, you have to watch it properly on its own terms. Don't watch it as an anti-Marcos. Watch it as just anyone who's ambivalent ideologically. Then you know what you're up against. Yun lang. Alright, so I'll keep it there. Good night sa inyo. Balikan ko kayo bukas. Yun lang, sabi ko talaga, I have to get this out of my system because like, baka bukas paggising ko, iba na yung ano ko eh. Kasi very raw eh. I mean, the effect it has is very, very strong. Very, very strong. And yeah, I mean, the way they portrayed the mob, parang ito ang mga dilaw, talagang mga mob, violente, galit. Grabe, na-dehumanize talaga yung kabila. Lupit eh. Lupit yung ginawa nila doon. So, and I'm saying this not in praise of it, factual or anything. I'm just saying, this is what the, whatever you want to call it, pink movement, whatever, are up against. So, all kudos to Director Vincent, right, Tanyada. I think he has done a good job of showing the activist side and all, although you saw my critic a while ago. But it doesn't directly rebut eh. Hindi sila nagtatapat talaga, to be honest. I don't see them eh. I don't see them. Kaya nga talaga si Lamangan, Director Lamangan, whoever is there listening, watching our meta, whatever, guys, you have to watch this and don't make fun of it. Don't underestimate it. Huwag niyo underestimate yan. And I'll tell you what, sa dulong ng movie, pumapalakpak yung mga tao. Especially when there's a human side of reunion and all. And obviously, reunion in this case means the return of the Marcoses, right? To Malacanang. I mean, this is next level, guys. This is next level. I'm just saying, don't just make fun. Yeah, of course, alaskador ako. I'll do all of that. But you see, I take my job seriously. This is a job, guys. This is serious. So, yun lang. So, I'm not gonna just do an artistic analysis or just a political analysis. You have to do it all at the same time. Because you have to understand, guys, we're in a very special moment in our history. If movies like that keep on going, good luck na dun sa mga galit sa mga Marcoses and all of that. Alright? Okay, yun lang. I'll just keep it there, guys. All I'm saying is that may impact yung movie na yan. And the ideology really comes out towards the end, no? And I'm just saying, if kabilang may issues sila, they have to say something about that. Anyway, tomorrow, we'll have more discussions about that. Lourdes Vinoya, whoever you are, huwag kang magdilawan dyan. Umalis kayo dito, ha? Huwag kang magulo dito. Okay? Now, we're gonna discuss actual history, so we're gonna discuss the circumstances. One of the things that actually shocked me is, well, it actually didn't shock me at all. Yung aspeto ng Amerika. Let's be honest, Marcoses could not have left for Hawaii and all of that peacefully without coordination with the US, right? So there was an American aspect here. So interesting na may pagka-anti-America yung mga comments dyan, but okay, balikan natin. That's more complicated. And then, ayan. Basta I'm saying, guys, what I'm saying here is that I honestly do not see how Katips as a direct rebuttal. It gives another point of view, but it's not a direct rebuttal. If you're Lamangan, Joel Lamang, whoever you are, you have to watch this carefully, especially the last 15 to 20 minutes. That's where it has really an impact. And ako kasi I observe the audience. I see how they're reacting and all of that. It's like, hindi lang na-humanize ang Marcoses. They look like the victims. They come off as the victims towards the end of this. While with all the glamour. You know, there's no pretension that they're not everything is there. And yet they come off as victims. That's something, guys. So, I don't know. I mean, I want to say certain things, but, you know, we'll try to have neutral discussions and all. But that's my, let's call it, raw, instantaneous, visceral, preliminary take dito sa ganitong movie na yan. So, please, guys, don't just be dismissive about these movies. I mean, there are parts whereby it will make you feel ano lang yan, wala lang yan. But actually, if you really pay attention closely, it is an impactful movie. There's really something about it. Alright? Or baka I'm just exaggerating bukas pag gising ko, wala na yan. Balik na naman tayo sa Alaskador, di ba? Made in, But at least, now we have at least makikita mo yung raw effect, di ba? On someone who pays attention and really focuses. And there are many lines there. Bukas analyze natin yung mga lines na yan. Interaction between yung character ni Ella Cruz and the father. I think the Ella Cruz scene, that's Irene, right? And that's a very important part of the movie. Of course, the Bongbong one with the father one was actually quite interesting because I think it's quite historically accurate. It's backed up by a lot of evidence we have. And it will talk about the other also scenesters and other dialogues there, that's quite interesting. So I had to take down notes talaga, literally, alright? Kasi ibang level to, guys. Hindi lang na-humanize, naging mukhang biktima. Naging mukhang biktima. Ibang klase. Only in the Philippines, I would say. Only in the Philippines. Alright. This one, I think, is only in the Philippines. Alright, next level yan. Alright, guys, thank you very much. Have a good day. Sorry, medyo absorb ko pa to. Oh, wait lang. Tomorrow, we're gonna have a much more detailed analysis katulad ng ginawa ko kanina sa ka-tips. Medyo atur tayo. But now, I'm just giving you my preliminary raw analysis. Kasi, iba eh. Lakas ng impact eh. I'm not meaning it exactly in a positive or negative way. I'm just saying, it's an impactful movie. And it's subtle, and then towards the end, it goes a little bit beyond subtle. And yet, overall, it's subtle enough to kind of pass off as, I don't know, just giving another perspective, just showing another side of truth. Ganon. All right, so interesting. All right, and you'll see a lot of Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and glamour there, which, as I say, makes it actually more interesting probably to a lot of people, not turn off people. So that's what you're up against, right? So kaya nga hindi ko nakikita yung ka-tips exactly as pantapat ton eh. I mean, it does a great job in its own way, but I just don't see it directly. Kaya talagang si Joel Lamangan, tama, Joel Lamangan, di ba? Ayan, yung mga iba dyan, yan, wag nyo lang i-dismiss tong movie na to or pagtawanan or i-dismiss lang. You have to watch it properly, right? And understand it. Whether you agree or not, it's something you have to watch, especially because many people are watching it and many stories is coming out of it. Alright? Okay, I'll keep it there. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much. Whew. Have a good night.